Okay, so it's been a hot minute for a video. What we're going to do today is go through some black metal and some death metal from Colombia. Most of the bands are from Bogotá or Medellín. Ethereal, some black metal. This album is called Shroud of Flesh. And almost all these bands are kind of, the older type, so late 90s, early 2000s type of stuff. Next up, I think their third album, Infernal, called A Tragedy Called Existence. I kind of researched this band a little bit and decided that Infernal was probably some pretty cool stuff from Colombia. We're listening to in the background some Infernal, one of their later albums. I'm just checking it out. This is the debut album called The New Dawn, and this album is fantastic. So I think probably the best black metal band from Colombia is going to be this band Infernal. And I really like this album. So this one's really great. Kind of a black metal gem from Colombia. A lot of people know Inquisition. I only have a couple albums from them. Magnificent Glorification. And I've got this one called Into the Infernal Legions. Like this. I don't care what editions they are. Another black metal from Colombia. This one's going to be called Nocturnal Feelings, Nocturnal Attack. And then we've got this awesome album. The band is called Occultus, and the album is Cosmos. So that's going to be one of your best black metal from Colombia. Let's move on to some death metal. Leishmaniasis is kind of a brutal underground. This was kind of a rare album for a while. I think it's been rediscovered, and some people are kind of getting into this one here. But this is, ultra brutal. Classic band Masacre. This is a first press debut, Requiem, on Osmos Productions. But Masacre is one of the most well-known death metal bands from Colombia, and they deserve all the recognition. This album is really, really good. A band called Tenebrarum. This is the Blood and Tears album. And that's another kind of underground sort of Tenebrarum. Not Tenebrarum from Mexico, Tenebrarum from Colombia. Neurosis, they're done in 1916. This is a beautiful thrash, death metal, just kind of hyper Spanish lyrics. They speak Spanish in Colombia. A little more recent, Under Threat, Behind Mankind's Disguise is one of the albums that are worth checking out. Very recent is The Scum, The Hunger. This was tough to get. I got it from the band, but it took quite a bit of coaxing to finally get a copy of this thing. But this is a recent death metal album that's fantastic. Saprophago. This is ultra brutal, just kind of total blast always on the snare. It's produced really well. It's kind of your basic growly type of stuff, but the production made it worthwhile. And the album's called Horrible Thoughts from Saprophago. Purulent, a little bit of grindcore-ish death metal. Pathologia Grotesca from Purulent. This is probably considered a Colombian classic. A rare gem called Occisor, El Edad del Fierro. This is a bit tough to get, and it was pretty decent. I bought it, spun it one time, thought it was pretty good. A real gem, Nameless, the album called Dirge. This was in my want list for years. It popped up for like $20 or something like that, and I grabbed it, and it's the first copy I've seen for sale for a long time, and it is a really, really good album. Kind of a rare score, Nameless Dirge. Just as rare as this album called Murder, a short story. This was in my want list for probably 4 or 5 years. And I was checking around on eBay one day and someone had it listed for $10. I'm like, get out of town. So yeah, Murder, a short story. Very, very rare Colombian death metal. Mistyfate, I have 2 albums. Embracing the Death. And this album, Breath of the End. Both are fairly easy to listen to. You just pop it in, listen to it, and then forget all about it. I can't remember what it sounds like anymore. Mindly Rotten, the most exquisite agonies. This is some furious, burping, bubbly, bludgeoning, hyper-blasting sort of stuff. Just, good fun. Mindly Rotten. Probably easy to find. A later Masacre album called Sacro. This is totally like a 3 out of 5. And it's the debut album that really hits me hard. This album was okay. Kilcrops, kind of like a thrash gem. This one's called Yave Karma from Kilcrops. And this is some, very much thrash metal. It's got some death metal elements into it. A newer release called Death Kult, Under the Sign of Death. I thought it sounded interesting. I got it and spun it and thought it was worth keeping. I really like this Ancient Necropsy album. This thing is just mega fast on the drums, and it's just really good, wholesome fun. Ancient Necropsy, definitely one of my favorites from Colombia. And then some real jewels. Ramón. And this album is Contundente Final. And this Colombian ultra metal is the style. And this Ramón is just wonderful. Ultra metal from Ramón. It was kind of difficult to find, but well worth it. The same member was in a band called Blasfemia. Another ultra metal right here. Colombian ultra metal. Dioses, Humanos y Bestias. From Blasfemia. This was another jewel from Colombia. I'm really happy to have this. Cheers. Thanks for watching Colombian Metal, Bogotá, Medellín, and all the cities of Colombia from USA. Have a great night.